Hey there, I'm Richard Brandt, Monos Historian, and you're watching Stream It Now. New today on Amazon Prime, Mickey Rourke in Ashby. From the director of Grease, Big Top Pee-wee. And one of several must-see films on Prime today from 1971, the low-budget regional horror classic, Blood Freak. The story of a man who volunteers for an experiment at a turkey farm and ends up turning into a turkey-headed monster, or more properly, a guy with a big papier-mâché turkey head with ping-pong ball eyes, who's also addicted to junkie blood. Now, his big papier-mâché head is actually pretty useless for trying to bite anybody. All he can really do is dip his beak into his cupped hands, like one of those plastic toy birds that dips into a glass of water. Now, as if all this isn't enough, the movie keeps cutting away to your narrator, sitting in his 1970s wood-paneled den, who delivers hectoring sermons on the evils of drugs, all the while puffing away on a cigarette. In fact, at one point, he stops and interrupts himself with a coughing fit in the middle of his speech, and they left it in the movie. That's right, they couldn't even be bothered to cut his smoker's cough out of the movie. It is to die. Also today, the indie thriller Broken Doll. Christopher Lee in the 1960 horror flick The City of the Dead. From 1952, a French animated feature, The Curious Adventure of the Wonder Bird. The original French voice cast featured Pierre Brasseur and Anouk Aimée, but the English dubbed version features Peter Ustinov, Claire Bloom, and Denham Elliott. Also, today, Greg Evigan, Miguel Ferrer, and Nia Peoples in Sean Cunningham's waterlogged thriller Deep Star 6. From 1941, The Forgotten Village, narrated by Burgess Meredith, a story about the conflict between tradition and modernization in rural Mexico, written for the screen by John Steinbeck. The indie thriller The Generator. The British campus crime caper The Grad Job. Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor in the gangland saga Harlem Nights. Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, 30th Anniversary Edition, brings us a 4K restoration of John McNaughton's landmark grim crime saga with a breakout performance by Michael Rooker. An Italian drama, Hikikomori, the indie drama Lottery Road, the French horror film parody The Mansion, the Filipino comedy My Two Mommies, Luc Besson's classic action thriller Les Femmes Nikita, one of those great classic British movies from the post-war era, Passport to Pimlico, with Stanley Holloway and Margaret Rutherford, the story of a London borough which discovers it's actually an independent state and says goodbye to the post-war years of austerity and rationing. The Indian spy thriller Razi. Just in time for the holidays, a raunchy Christmas story. Three male strippers pull off a heist in Strapped for Danger. The indie drama Tara Riata. From 1944, Richard Arlen and Ellen Drew in the screwball comedy That's My Baby. From 2013, the abduction drama Vanished. And from 1936, Burgess Meredith in Maxwell Anderson's crime drama Winterset.